Hey there, friends on YouTube. It's the JTL. I am back again, and today I've got a special, well, not so special, but kind of special video. I just got a brand new camera. I got the Sony FDR-AX33, and what I want to do today is just do a quick discussion of why I decided to get this camera and why I decided to buy a new camera in the first place and what I hope to achieve with it. So stick with me and let's get this done. Okay, so the Sony AX33 is a 4K camera, 4K camcorder, I should say. Up to this point, I've been using a Canon SL1 or D100, I think it's called in other parts of the world. And I had a pretty decent workflow going on with that camera, but what I was really hoping to achieve was slightly better quality video, slightly easier to, as a one-man job, slightly easier to get going and just manage on the go. Now, I'm not sure if this camera is going to be the right camera. I don't know how it's going to turn out. There isn't a connection to the computer, although I can control it with my iPad. Very, very minimal sort of basic control from the iPad. I can start and stop the record, which is fine. It's a little clunky to get it set up, but once I get it going, I'll probably be okay. The difference between camcorder and camera, like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, I had actually purchased a Sony a6000, and I went to Best Buy to pick it up yesterday, and I just kept thinking, from the SL1 to the a6000, I know the a6000, it's a mirrorless camera. It was going to be a slightly better camera, a step up. I really wanted to try and get to 4K. Now, I don't know if my channel actually needs 4K, but I've got 4K TVs. I've got all this stuff. 4K is the format of now. So I wanted to try and get there if I could in the cheapest way that I could get there without going. There were a couple of other cameras that I could go for. The Panasonic G7 is still kind of on my list, but I kind of went to Best Buy to pick up the a6000 yesterday, and I just kept thinking, for another $150, I could get this Sony FDR-AX33, and I could try 4K. I could see how a camcorder works versus a regular DSLR or other kind of stills camera, and I just really wanted to give it a try. So here I am. One thing I'm hoping that you folks who watch the video will do will tell me what you think about the quality of this. Maybe compare it against my last video, because that was the first video that I really did on my new set. Or I guess in my studio, but still, you know what I mean. Let me know what you think about the quality of this versus the quality of that. I'm anxious to see what the two look like. What I'm looking for in this camera is, like I said, that ease of use, to just be able to sort of put it on the stand, get to my iPad, press record and go, and then get the stuff off the camera. Now that I've upgraded my PC to an i7-6700K chip, I should be able to handle, with my 1080, my NVIDIA GTX 1080, I should be able to handle editing 4K video on my PC. I've got this camera. I'm using it. I'm anxious to see what it looks like. It does 4K video, gives me a little bit more mobility with my setup to move around to different places and not have to worry about stabilization. This thing has what's called BOS stabilization. It's an optical stabilization system where basically the camera lens inside the body of the camera moves to keep everything in focus. So I'm hoping that if this works out, I'm going to be able to use that in some, in some product shots and that kind of thing. But this first video is just really all about testing it out. So I'm going to keep it short. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for letting me know what you think down in the comments. I really, I could use some help on trying to figure out whether or not this camera is the way to go. So anyway, thanks so much for being here. This is the JTL, and until the next time, I'm out.